Welcome back to Rugby Saturday USA here at Albuquerque's Balloon Fiesta Park. My name is Aaron Rivera, joined by Hero Prinsu. And we'll now see the 10s Boys Championship round. We're going to see the Los Alamos Nukes taking on the San Juan Spartans. We're going to watch a 10s match today, so the rules will be somewhat similar to a 7s match. I believe they mentioned that we will be playing 12-minute halves, though. So Hedo, 10s is kind of halfway between a 7s match and a 15s match because you don't have quite as much room as you do with the 7s.
Exactly, and I've often heard it referred to as 7s for forward players, because you obviously get to have a bit more forwards on the field. I haven't seen the Spartans play 10s, I believe, but I've certainly seen the Nukes play a couple of games. Their coach, Demetrio, certainly very big on the physical aspect, so I'm sure we'll see a very good game. These boys love offloading, they love rucking, and they're very good at it.
I believe that it's the Spartans moving from the left to the right in the red, and we see the Nukes moving from the right to the left.
Oh, big hit.
And that ball is being fought forward now by Los Alamos. And the Nukes pushing forward with the ball. Just lost a little bit. We're seeing an advantage being played now. Our referee for today's match is going to be Doc Richardson. Another guy who's been around in New Mexico rugby for quite some time. Our assistant referees today are going to be James Kaminsky and Maka Satini. We've seen both of them so far today. And we're going to see the Spartans putting this ball into play. It's going to be Sean Morris, the number 9.
The Spartans have an overlap on the, the Nukes have the ball, it would seem. The Spartans certainly have the put into the scrum, and they have the overlap on this near side of the field. You got to wonder if the Nukes are even aware of that. They seem to have someone posted way on the other side of the field, even though there's no one to cover there.
Well, it could be just set back to drop back, but looks like the Nukes have won this ball. They're going to push forward with it.
Some big tackles from the Spartans early on in the game.
We do see the Nukes are fighting forward with that ball. And poached there by the Spartans, but it was offsides, that poach, so we're going to see them come back right now. The Nukes feed that ball out. Send it wide, just taken down. Sent out to the wing, back onto the inside, and he's running sideways instead of forward. He goes down. And fighting forward one more time. They're outnumbered on this side. He goes down, and the Spartans are a little bit slow to play the ball. So the Nukes now have the advantage coming in here as far as numbers go.
Very bunched up again, just like the previous game.
It just kind of picks that ball up. It was kind of sitting there on the ground. It could have been played by either side. And the Nukes finally realized their overload, but it was just a minute too late.
Doc Richards very strict on those rucks. Spartans trying to poach some of the ball.
Nukes now feeding that ball out. They've got the last guy on the edge, and he's going to go in for the try. We do see the Nukes put the first points on the board. Los Alamos is going to have 5 points here, and the conversion kicks here in 10s are going to be very similar to the ones that we saw for the 7s match.
Correct.
Quick drop kick, you got about 30 seconds, 45, somewhere in that range.
Well, we can hear Coach Demetrio Cardiel on the other side of the field, vocal as always. I can almost hear him as clear as I can hear you. Which is good. because that means his players can hear him too.
And this ball kicked up, not so good, but that's going to still give them the first lead of the game. Los Alamos Nukes have 5 points to their name. The Spartans have been playing a lot of defense today. You mentioned that they've made some great tackles and played some tough defense, but at the same time, you don't want to be playing the whole game in your own half.
That's very true, Aaron, and it certainly tires you out. If you're doing a lot of defending, it can be very draining on the body.
And nobody wanted to play that ball for the Spartans, so instead the Nukes played it. And the Nukes have poached that ball. Looks like they weren't clearing away, so Spartans now have the opportunity to do something with this ball. And I will change that. They actually did give him the conversion, so it's 7 points for the Nukes. Right now we're seeing the Spartans getting ready. They're starting to spin this ball out. Right now he's running through. Just lost that ball, and it was probably knocked forward there by the number 2 when he tried to pick it up.
Looking very dangerous on the attack there. This is the first time they really had the ball. And looking very dangerous on the attack. Looks like they have some quick players in the back line.
Absolutely. Casey Simmons was really pushing forward. He wanted to get some points, but just lost it when he was trying to get it to Lisandro Ferrer. And we're going to see a scrum after they make sure their shoes are all tied. Especially the hookers. You don't want to lose that in the middle of the scrum.
Right.
Accidentally chuck that at the opposing line. And they'll bind together. The Nukes have the put-in. And that ball immediately just squeaks straight out the scrum.
Unforced error.
And right now the Spartans have the advantage being played, and that ball's being pushed forward right now. Zarate. Ooh, Zarate just on this side of the line. And it looks like they believe that they have the scrum. And he's going to award it there. That was the number 9, Sean Morris, who picked that ball up, but set up nicely by that run by Jesse Zarate, the prop. You don't usually see a prop rumble that far down the field.
You don't, and he actually, instead of trying to tackle him, one of the Nukes players actually pushed him from behind, giving him some extra speed. Very interesting. I'm sure Demetrio will be very happy about that. But I'm not sure Doc was really in place. Excuse me for interrupting there. And I'm not sure Doc was in place to award that try, so it must have been assistant referee Tony Nichols, who we just spoke of in the previous game. That experience, you know, counting for a lot and having him in the right place to see if that try was scored or not.
Absolutely. I do apologize for the earlier mistake. It is actually not James Kaminsky. It is Tony Nichols, as you mentioned. We now see the Spartans go to kick the ball. They did not successfully convert the try, so now we're seeing the Nukes fight forward with that ball. They almost got back to the 40-meter line. And the Nukes fighting forward. Spartans having to play defense once more.
Good call.
Coming in from the side.
Yes. Player was certainly offsides too on top of that.
And now we see the Nukes take the quick touch and go.
Good step.
Ooh, beautiful. Oh, just lost on that on the tackle, but doesn't look like he's going to call him forward. So,
not necessary to try and make that offload. You know, he had a sufficient amount of players with him. I could have just held on to it.
Spartans fighting forward with that ball.
Oh.
And now we're going to see Casey Simmons running forward.
He is quick.
He's very fast, and it looks like he's beat the last defenders he needs to. And Simmons just dodges it, makes sure to put it right underneath the posts. It's going to give him 10 points now for the San Juan Spartans.
Well, the Nukes will certainly have to keep an eye on him. You know, when you're defending a quicker player and you know that he's probably got the edge on you in terms of speed, you want to give him the inside shoulder, make him step back inside and hope that one of your guys around there can get a hand on him. It's terrible to be beaten on the outside by someone who's quicker than you.
Well, I played a little bit of forward, so for me, I was always beaten by somebody quicker than me.
It's very humbling.
Especially when you see them just zoom past like, oh, I wish I was that fast.
Right.
But now we see that ball sent in by Sean Morris. Bobbled a little bit by the Nukes. They're playing it from pretty deep in their own territory. He dodges a couple tacklers. And the Spartans are going to get that ball, but we saw a knock forward. Honestly, I saw 2 knock forwards, but he's going to let the Spartans play the ball.
They need to get the ball wide. They have Mr. Jet Shoes waiting.
We saw Zarate. He's got the ball again. Surprised we're not coming. Oh, we are coming back for that knock forward. And the Nukes are going to get another opportunity to scrum down. Maybe we can see that ball fed in like it was last time.
They're very lucky to not have given away a try there. Certainly was on. And they need to realize that their offloads are costing them dearly at the moment. They're throwing a lot of offloads and they're not making any of them. Losing the ball every time.
And that ball fed in, hooked beautifully, comes straight out the back. Now taken forward by the scrum half. Sends it out to the wing. And Los Alamos is resetting their ruck. Looks like they're going to bang that ball forward a couple of times.
Very physical in there.
Looks like he's signaling diving over the ruck on the Spartans. So the Nukes are going to get the opportunity. They've got the wind in their face right now, but he's still going to kick it. It does not go out of bounds, so it's taken now by Sam Lucas.
Oh.
Ooh, big crushing hit by the Nukes. Brought him down. But the Spartans retain possession.
They feed that ball out on defense.
Right now we see Morris with that ball. Sean Morris looks like he's got the wheels. Looks like he's going to get the try. And Morris does get another 5 points. He places that ball down. And that's going to give them 15 points. And they're going to come back for another attempted conversion. I apologize. They should be at 17 points because they did succeed on that last conversion. And the wind just kicked it away. He almost had the conversion there, but you just saw the ball kind of spun and sent backwards by the wind.
Well, at the moment, what's happening is the Nukes are bunching up on defense, and the Spartans are doing a great job at identifying those open spaces, and they're just putting their quick guys in that, beating the big old props on the wing here. It's really not where you want your props to be hanging out.
What we're essentially seeing is the fly half and the scrum half are sitting over here on the wings. So
yeah,
they know they're fast players and they know how to do it. We're going to see Morris kick that ball in. Nice and deep one more time. Nukes are playing it from underneath their posts. Prepping just lost forward. One of the forwards couldn't hold on to that ball. Now sent off to the hook. The hook feeds it off to the wing. The wing is fighting through. He has nowhere to go, but he does offload it now. Nope. Looks like he's going to bring it back for a forward pass. Or is he going to award him the try? I think he's talking with assistant referee Makasatini to discuss whether or not that was a clean try. And he will award him the try. That was Carlos Espinosa, one of the props. And so we're seeing the Spartans letting their forwards do a lot of ball handling in this game.
And the main difference at the moment is their passes are going to hand, while the Nukes, every time they pass the ball, they're losing it. Either knocking it on or it's just not going to anyone.
It's definitely pretty tough to win the game when you can't hold on to the ball.
True.
And looks like we're going to come to half right now. So at the half, the San Juan Spartans have 22 and the Los Alamos Nukes have 7.
is the dangerous Hannah Obry. Pradika's going, and she's going to be out, I think.
Nice
Yep.
throw.
Whoop. Here's the 0-1. She hit that one from up in her eyes, way back, still going back. Oh, what a nice play by Pavacek on the move.
Welcome back for the second half of this boys 10s final. The sides have switched, so now we're going to see the Los Alamos Nukes coming from the left to the right in their yellow jerseys, kicking that ball off to the Spartans. Spartans pick that ball up immediately. I know that's the winger. And now they've sent it off to their scrum half. Now to the big front row. Now to the locks. And they finally sent it off to the fly half, but we're going to, have an obstruction there. Just a bad decision on the run there by Simmons. And the Spartans go back quick. Now the wind's at his back, so scrum half just sends it out. So during the half, if you were the coaches, what would have you told to both of the squads?
Sorry?
What would you have told the squads if you were the coach for them at the half?
Well, sorry about that. I couldn't hear you very well on this wind, but if I were the Nukes coach, I would have told them to just keep ball in hand, because like I said in the first half, they're just making a lot of unnecessary passes and losing the ball. The Spartans, I'd have just tell them to keep doing what they're doing, because there's not much to change when you're doing things right.
Well, for them so far, they've had 2 obstruction calls in about the last minute, so that's something they need to clean up, and the Nukes are right in scoring position. He's trying to fight forward for it. Looks like they've got the offload on the overload on the far side, but instead they come to this side. Stiff defense, just trying to get it over the line, but the Spartans refuse. See if they hand it off to one of the big boys to bang it forward. We're going to come back for diving over the ruck over here. It's the Nukes. Quick touch and go. And that will be a try there. The scrum half grabbed it quick, and even though the defender, Alonzo Williamson, was there, it wasn't good enough to keep out the try. That's going to give the Los Alamos Nukes 12 points they really needed, and now they're at 14 after a good conversion there. So the score now, 14 for the Los Alamos Nukes and 22 for the San Juan Spartans. And just like in that match we watched a little bit earlier, a quick score right at the beginning of the half to try and put some confidence back into the Nukes.
Sure, that's definitely what they would have been looking for. The Spartans wouldn't have been too happy about that. Seems like their defense slipped a bit, but right after the kickoff's the time to fix your mistakes, and they'll be looking to do that.
And we see that ball spun out. Simmons has the ball now. He's right on the sideline. He's dancing. He's got that try if he can beat that last man, and he does. And we're going to see Simmons go down with that ball for another try. And Hedo, what would you say about that one?
See, that's what you don't want from Nuke's perspective.
Yeah.
Fantastic running, fantastic shifting of the ball by the Spartans. The hands are very good today. They're not making a lot of knock-ons. Their passing is good. They're wide on defense. They spread out on attack and defense, to be honest. And it just seems like all their players are really fit, and they're very aware of what's happening on the field. And the Nukes seem a little bit dazzled now, because they just scored a try, and in less than a minute the Spartans have come back and put one back on them.
It was almost off the kickoff, and the conversion was kicked good. That was the scrum half who kicked through, so this time he put 7 points on the board, Sean Morris. And now we're going to see the score at 29 for the San Juan Spartans and still 14 for the Los Alamos Nukes. And Morris makes the long trip from behind the posts to the kickoff position. Morris will get us back going. And, oh, the Nukes just lost that ball forward.
Handling is certainly a big problem for them. There's a lot of handling errors in such a short space of time.
And we're going to come back for that knock forward now. And so the scrum down is going to be for San Juan. And you got to feel if they score very many more points, this game will be over well before the 12-minute mark.
That's true. I think one more try will really put the Spartans away, especially since their defense is so strong. I just don't see the Nukes coming back in so little time.
And the ball squeaks out. So we're going to replay that scrum down. The Library Bar and Grill. You can watch all of ProView Network broadcasts at the Library Bar and Grill. And the brand new Library Bar and Grill on San Mateo. Bring the whole family for the biggest game, the best food. Youth athletes under 12, come in wearing your jersey and eat free off the kids menu. As the scrum is reset, we'll take a second chance on this. And this time it comes out nice and clean. We see Morris pushing forward with it. Fights off a tackler. Dances around, breaking some ankles over there. And Morris offloads that ball.
It looks like he ran out of one of his own boots. It just stuck right there.
Well, now that ball's being taken forward. Big tough hit there on Sam Lucas. And the Nukes have poached that ball. They've taken it back. And we hear fans on the outside yelling, "Kick it, kick it." And he does, but he just kicks it to the sideline. So we're going to come back for, looks like, offsides. And there's actually a Nuke player who lost his boots.
Interesting.
So, you know, on the truck or something, he must have got knocked out of it.
Well, there was a lot of stepping happening from the offensive player. It might have been that he just, you know, stepped so much that trying to keep up, you lost a boot.
Oh, we're going to take just a second while he gets that ready because he's going to be kicking it. But articles for her, timeless styles uniquely for you. For info, visit them on 8510 Montgomery or give them a call at 505-298-6700. And it looks like we got a high tackle call. So they're going to punt that ball out of bounds, and we're going to see our first line out of the game. It'll be a Los Alamos Nukes line out. We didn't get to see any in that girls sevens match, so finally a little bit more action for those of us who like the jumping.
Certainly not something you see too often in sevens, maybe a bit more often in tens, but something that, you know, you just want to get out of the way and get on with the game.
And the players line up. And successfully won by the Nukes. And we see that ball heading down the field.
Some more big hits from the Spartan players there.
And Doc Richardson's going to be, again, those high tackles. Spartans are really hurting themselves just giving up 10 meters every time they do that. Oof. You saw the big boy try to rumble up, but he was met pretty hard there by Giacomo Moda.
That should be a penalty to the Nukes, as it is.
And the quick tap there by the scrum half. He's running around. Looks like he has nobody to beat. Oh, just finally got him. He made the smart decision to put that ball down, and he's awarded a try. So that's going to give them 5 more points. They're going to be at 19. They'll be 10 down, and It's a little bit more tough of a conversion kick right here, but
that was a good individual try from the Nukes player. And like you said, the Spartans really hurting themselves at the in the tackle area. They pretty much helped the Nukes to march all the way from their own 22 all the way down the field with about 4 consecutive penalties against them.
And it was the same ones over and over again, kept calling them offsides or high tackle. But Golden Pride Chicken and Ribs and the Frontier Restaurant are proud supporters of New Mexico athletics. They've been serving Albuquerque and supporting our kids for over 40 years. 4 great locations, including the Frontier Restaurant across the street from UNM's Central Avenue campus. And the Barley Room is your home for football and basketball fun. Great food and drinks, live music, it's all at the Barley Room. As we see the Nukes set that ball back into play. Taken forward now.
Great
and
poach
one more time. And we see Morris trying to make that tackle. This is kind of high, so he's probably going to get penalized one more time.
I think we should see a card here from the referee, to be honest. Those are just repeated infringements, the same ones, and then after that, the player didn't release the tackled player on the ground. It's complete disregard for the law.
And it looks like he was probably talking with assistant referee Nichols about that. We see the Nukes drive into the tri-zone again. There's 5 more points for them. They didn't convert last time, but this time it's going to be a little bit easier of a kick. They'll still have the wind in their face while they do it, but those 5 points came fast. It's going to be 24 right now.
I'm surprised to not see the referee talking to the Spartans captain. Just giving him a general team warning. I think the last 6 or 7 penalties have all been against the Spartans, none against the Nukes. So really he should be warning them about that.
Absolutely.
And maybe sin-binning a player on the next infringement if he feels like it, you know.
Well, it looks like he was just adjusting where he has his cards, and the conversion was good. So we're going to see the score now, 26 for the Los Alamos Nukes. They've woken up in the last couple minutes. Chased down now by Morris. Morris tries to dodge through. He does fight off a couple tackles, but offloads that ball without looking, and that's going to be, lose him those 5 meters that he fought so hard for. And now we see the Nukes poach that ball one more time. And they're kind of losing that ball. There we go, fed off to the line. Dodged around, sent off to the back. Right now, they're getting pretty close to that line. Big boys are pushing forward. San Juan is defending it, but Los Alamos is picking up 5-6 meters each time. San Juan looks like they poached it.
That should be a penalty to the Nukes.
Looks like he is playing advantage. What was the call there, Hedo?
One of the Spartans players just went off his feet at the breakdown, just fell on the ball, totally killed it.
And the Nukes get 10 meters off that penalty.
Another penalty advantage.
And they're playing to the short side. And he's going to award the try. The Nukes now have the lead. It is going to be 31 pending a very tough conversion, and we can see a little bit of frustration on the faces of those San Juan players.
This has got to be very close to the end of the game here. I think that might actually be the final call. I think the Spartan players are lucky that the Nukes actually scored there, because that would have probably been a card. Certainly the ref's got to be thinking about it by now.
At this point, maybe. The MCM Elegante Hotel and Event Center, full-service 4-star property where cleanliness, friendliness, and impeccable service is our daily standard. And we do honor NMAA rates for 2016. And the Nukes have the ball again. No success on the conversion, so it's 31-29 in favor of the Nukes. And talk about stiff hits. The Nukes made sure to lay one on there. And a bad offload might lead to more points for the Nukes. Oh, just dances out of those tackles, offloads to the outside. Looks like the wing's going to put up more points. And he does go down. He's awarded the try. It's now 36 for the Los Alamos Nukes.
this has certainly turned into quite the spectacle. Game just opened up.
Yeah. We thought this one was over a while ago, but the Nukes had put up almost 30 points in a matter of maybe 4 minutes at most.
Well, as you can see, I'm smiling. I certainly think that Dimitro had some harsh words for these boys. I don't even want to imagine the threats that he made.
Well, whatever he said seemed to have worked. The score's now 36-29, and as you mentioned, there's time's running out now. So if Spartans want to get back in this game, they need to do it now. And we haven't seen as much of them sending it to the outside, although we do see that ball being danced around now by Casey Simmons. And sounds like the ending whistle. So with that, Los Alamos Nukes are your New Mexico State Boys 10 champions. Our ending score 36-29 over the San Juan Spartans. Big win for the Nukes, especially with all the effort they put in there at the end of the game.
Fantastic game, absolutely fantastic to watch. You know, one team dominated the first half completely, came out in the second half. It's almost like they switched roles. It's a great thing about sport, you know, see those character to just pick yourself up and come back. I'm sure the coaches are very happy. We've had a lot of people come into Balloon Fiesta Park. Suddenly there are a lot of people around the field. This was very entertaining to watch.
We're getting ready to bring you the girls sevens final. So thank you all for joining us. We'll be right back with that girls sevens final.